pure philosophy.
Well, are we to start dancing first? The most phenomenal success of Kolaveri D. I think that's fantastic. Actually, I was in Bombay just a few days ago, and I was sitting at Mr. Anand Mahindra's office, and he suddenly said, "You South Indians, you are so brilliant, you're so creative." I said, "So what's happened now? We did create the XUV 500, but what else did we do?" And he said, "Kolaveri D." I said, "What?" I said, "I haven't heard of Kolaveri D." I said, "What is Kolaveri?" I thought it was a new form of Coca-Cola or something that some Madras company invented. He said, "What do you mean? You don't know what Kolaveri D is?" And he took his iPad and he then put on Kolaveri D. And here it is. It's arrived in Coimbatore at CII, Coimbatore Zone. Wow. So, thank you all for being here, and it's always a pleasure to be talking to entrepreneurs. I love the word entrepreneur. It sounds a little outdated. Maybe we have to find a new term for this, because today now with technology, the advancement and the speed of technology, and we're also interconnected with cyberspace. We're living in a world that is so creative. And the other day I was listening to Thomas Friedman, and he was saying, the moment you think you have an idea, be sure there's another guy, across the world, maybe sitting in Japan, who has the same idea. And the guy who becomes a success is that guy who actually turns that idea into action. He is the success. He's the one who becomes the billionaire. So, these people here are true unconventional business people. And I mean, if I tell you what they are doing, you must have read it already, but I was astounded that by the unconventionality of their businesses. In spite of having very conventional education, I will first of all speak about Amulik. Amulik makes chai. Now you might ask, what is so unusual about making tea? Tea is everywhere, all over the place. But even this morning I was on a flight to Coimbatore, and I was looking desperately in the Hyderabad airport for a cup of decent chai. And you were not there. So there are places to go yet. And Fanindra Sama, who actually sells bus tickets. Now, isn't that incredible? Now, again, what's so new about selling bus tickets? But he's got this amazing business called Red Bus, and he's going to tell us a lot about it. And of course, Nitin Gupta, whose business is most unusual. It's founded on laughter, and I think the world needs a lot of laughter. So, lots to say. So, can I first ask you to say a little bit about your businesses, and then we can move on with a little more unconventional questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So I find it very odd when our business is called conventional, or unconventional, sorry. I mean, there are lakhs of chaiwalas in India, and we're just trying to organize that space. We basically believe that India runs on chai, and it demands a brand around chai, which is accessible, affordable, clean, hygienic, and the key word here is accessible. So, we came on to this idea in a very opportunistic manner. I'm a technology guy, always driven by scale, but at that point of time I was very bored with technology, and I was looking at something which is very real, brick and mortar and fashion, and chanced upon that chai is consumed by so many people, but good hygienic chai is not accessible. And I use the word chai with distinction because tea, I understand, is used in southern part of India as a liquid beverage, but in north, where I come from, I mean, when you talk tea, you're talking essentially about dry tea. So, the tea leaves. So we just realized that in India, in spite of consuming 850,000 tons of tea every year, nobody has focused on the last mile access. on building a brand around chai. People assumed it is everywhere. People assumed it's accessible, but it actually wasn't. And this simple thought, in turn, prompted us to form a company and think of Chai Point as a brand, and go on open outlets in a model which is very distinctive from the typical cafes. But the idea essentially is to focus on the working Indian as the target segment and open stores. And now we are 12 functional stores. We should be 15 by December. And we are based out of Bangalore, and now we are looking forward to go to National Capital Region, which is the biggest market for tea in terms of per capita consumption, Gujarat, NCR and Punjab. We intend to be in Delhi by Jan, Feb, and our goal is to set up around 20-25 stores in NCR by end of the year next year, while we continue with our growth in Bangalore. We're very, very happy with Bangalore.
Laughter?
Am I audible at the back? Is it working now? Good. Yeah, so I'm a chemical engineer, and now I'm doing stand-up comedy. So what was the question again?
Nitin, can you do a bit here for us? I mean, that would best explain.
No, I'll be doing a lot after the session, right? So I'm scheduled to perform at the end, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's about entrepreneurship, right? Unconventional entrepreneurship. But see, I don't see myself as an unconventional entrepreneur or either of the people on the panel. I'll tell you about one unconventional entrepreneur though. He's now dead, and his name is Osama bin Laden. Heard of that? He's an entrepreneur, right? Because see, an entrepreneur is someone who starts his own organization. Osama did Al-Qaeda, Al-Mujahideen, Al-Fatwa. But that logic, he's a serial entrepreneur. And he's a social entrepreneur because Al-Qaeda is strictly not for profit. They did it for the passion of it. And entrepreneur is someone who's a risk taker. You won't call taking panga with you as a safe bet, would you? Entrepreneurs create jobs. Osama did. You know, all those people rebuilding the World Trade Center, American soldiers fighting in Afghanistan, they now have real jobs. So if you think about it, Osama created more jobs for America than Obama. And he's a great role model. I mean, not in terms of killing people, but the work ethic. Like, he was so humble, always lived in caves, traveled by camels, no luxury yachts or private jets for him, no shoshabati, right? Yeah, so he only lets his work do all the talking, and amazing. Also, Al-Qaeda, I love that company because it's the greenest company on the planet. Because they kill people, the biggest producers of carbon dioxide. So we are conventional entrepreneurs, right? Those are the unconventional entrepreneurs.
But jokes apart, Nitin, let's talk business. When you say you have a company that's called Entertainment Engineers, right?
Yes.
So, where do you think you're going to take this company? What's the next business plan?
What's the next business plan?
Yeah.
See, right now we are looking at live stand-up comedy concerts, which we are doing in college festivals, alumni meets and corporates. So we started 2 years back, right? So we started performing in every college is a cultural festival, technical festival. So we started touring IITs, IIMs, NITs, right? They have big festivals, the alumni meets. So that is the present business plan. Next business plan will probably be, having too many other stand-up comics on the board. Right now we're a team of 4 comics, right? So probably, we'll have 20 comics or 30 comics in the company. That'd be nice. Also, we would eventually, like to get into advertising and make films in the near future.
Okay. So then, we'll handle more questions later. So now, Fanindra.
Sure. We sell bus tickets. We are travel agents. And Redbus has started about 5 years back, and it has started out of a personal need. I was working in Bangalore for a software company, actually a hardware company, and my parents are in Hyderabad. used to take buses frequently. So 5 years back during Diwali, went to a travel agent to buy a bus ticket. And the traditional way is the travel agent calls the bus operators to find out if they have any seats over the phone. And if he finds any seats with the bus operator, he writes on a piece of paper and gives it to you as a ticket, and that becomes a ticket. So I mean that's how the tickets are sold for 2.5 years where I traveled. But during Diwali 5 years back, when I went to the travel agent made the phone calls and told me there are no seats. He called like 3-4 travel agents, the bus operators, and told me there are no seats. But just when I was leaving his office, he told me that maybe there is another travel agent who could get you a seat. And that really intrigued me. Why is that this travel agent, who is an agent for that bus operator, not able to get me a seat, but another travel agent could get me a seat in the same bus for the same date of journey? Anyway, I went to that other travel agent to find out if he has seats. He also made like 3-4 phone calls and told me there are no seats. And I went to the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one, couldn't get a ticket from anywhere else, and ended up staying in Bangalore for the long weekend. Next day when I woke up, all my flatmates, we were all bachelors sharing a flat. So next day when I woke up, all my flatmates had gone home and I was alone in the flat. And it really pained me. It pained me because maybe there was a 10th travel agent who, if I had gone to, could have called the 20th bus operator and got me a seat. Maybe there was a seat which went vacant that night, which was lost to a bus operator. He had a seat but just didn't know which corner of the city there was a customer seeking that seat. And it was a loss to a travel agent because he had a customer in front of him but just didn't know which is the operator that he had to call. And it was a loss to me because I desperately wanted to travel that night and couldn't get a bus ticket. So I thought it was a loss for 3 of us. And being an engineer, I thought, why can't there be a computer system where all the bus operators put their inventory and all the travel agents pick up inventory from their first come, first serve? Which means if I go to a travel agent, if he just logs onto that system, he should be able to tell me whether or not there are any seats in the city which go from that night, from that source to another destination. So that was the idea. Initially we thought we'll just create this software as an open source. We had no thoughts of leaving our jobs. No thoughts of setting up a company and etc. In fact, we just wanted to do it as an open source solution which we wanted to give to the bus operators for free. And once they use it, it helps the whole society and all the software engineers and everybody like us in Bangalore. We thought it's a nice thing to do. We started setting up that thing, and then one thing led to another. We started recruiting people, setting up offices across the country, raising venture capital and etc. So 5 years now, 5 years from then, now we are headquartered in Bangalore. We're present in about 14, we have 14 offices. About 850 bus operators are there in the system. About 19,000 scheduled departures every day. We are about 500 people. We sell bus tickets in about 20 states in the country. And of late, one of the things that is like really exciting to us is March 1st, 2011, Goa State Transport Corporation went live with us. For decades together, the government RTCs have been loss-making. Right? There are probably only 2 RTCs which are profit-making out of the 28 RTCs in the country. So Go RTC was one of those which went live with us in March. And last month they were buying new buses, and then they had a press release. The managing director was talking about why they're buying new buses and etc. and all. And one of the exciting thing for us, what he said was, in the last few months after they came onto the Red Buses platform, for the first time, their interstate routes have become profitable. And he gave a very nice testimonial to Red Bus. So that is we wonder what we have done. We just created distribution for the bus operators, got them customers through internet and through call centers and etc. But that has very profound impact in terms of wastage. Today we probably sell like 20,000 seats a day. Which means if all these 20,000 people were going to a travel agent who is at least, let's say 1 kilometer or half a kilometer away to buy tickets, today probably every day we are saving about 20,000 kilometers worth of fuel for the country, where every liter is imported. So these are some of the things which are exciting to us, and this is what we do.